County has a lot to offer. Let's make the most of it and stay Fayette proud.
Now is the perfect time to upgrade your outdoor area with a new fence from All Around Fence Company. Conveniently located at 7896 National Pike, Uniontown. All Around Fence has been installing quality residential, commercial, and farm fencing for more than 45 years. Offering residential fencing including chain link, decorative aluminum, steel, and more, All Around Fence has the fence for you. All Around Fence is also your one-stop shop for nutrient products and also carries livestock, equine, and pet supplies. So if you need to upgrade an existing fence, add a new gate, or are considering the installation of an all-new fence, All Around Fence has the answers you need. Visit them Monday through Friday from 8:30 to 5 p.m. and Saturdays from 9 to 1, or give them a call at 724-439-0331. To learn more, visit allaroundfence.com.
Voted the best in Fayette County for tires, Tireman's Auto Garage has the cheapest prices in town on both new and used tires. The folks at Tireman's are also top automotive specialists. They can work on any car, can do any repair. They offer diagnostic service, alignments, oil changes, state inspections, batteries, brakes, rotors, detailing, and a whole lot more. Well, school is starting soon. That means buses will be on the road, and before you know it, cold weather and the snow. Be ready and be safe with new tires from Tireman's Auto Garage, where you'll find the lowest prices in town, with ACIMA and SNAP leasing available. If you've driven past Tireman's Auto Garage recently, you've probably seen the golf carts. Tireman's has a variety of 2, 4, and 6-seater gas or electric golf carts available for purchase, with financing available. Interested in renting a golf cart? Well, just call and ask. Tireman's Auto Garage on Mill Street in Uniontown. Call 724-425-9606.
When you make the right decision, it feels good, like picking the perfect gift. It feels really good to make the right insurance decision, too. That's why State Farm Agent Nate Ferguson is here in Uniontown to help you select the right protection at the right price. Nate will make sure you understand your coverages so you'll know what to expect if the unexpected happens. With State Farm Agent Nate Ferguson, it's easy to make the right choice. Just call Nate when you want the real deal.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I'll tell you what, folks. I just sat down with my budget worksheet, pencil, paper, and a calculator. And you know what? I cut my expenditures by 15.1%. That's real savings. And I froze my salary, saving the taxpayers over $1,800. I'm doing this to try to save money for the residents of Fayette County, because the commissioners have raised your taxes 78.2% in just 6 years. That's not right. On November 4th, 2025, vote for me, Jon Marietta, for Recorder of Deeds. Let's keep fighting for fiscal sanity and protect your hard-earned money.
'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
The views and opinions expressed on this program are those of Jon Marietta and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Fayette County Recorder of Deeds Office or Fayette County government. This program is privately produced and funded, and no county resources are used for its production or promotion.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I was trucking up the highway, minding my own lane, with some dude in a Prius went and flipped me off. Guess my redneck hit him wrong. Seems like everyone these days is a ticking time bomb full of hate for folks like me who don't agree and ain't ever gonna change. And it gets me thinking, leave this long-haired country boy alone. And I start singing along to that line in the song, Sweet Home Alabama. I hope Neil Young will remember.
Jon Marietta, and I am the Hillbilly. And today's show is being brought to you by Miles' Garage and Tire Center, Mung's Auto Body, PatriotsOnline.com, Fayette County Recovery Storage and U-Haul, Country Motor Sales, Gunslingers in Connellsville, JB's Market, Solid Foundation Ministry, Highline Motorsports, Gun Owners of America, Hillbilly Jon Radio, John Marietta for We the People, The Ink Spot in South Connellsville, Thundering Hills Feed and Supply, Fayette County Mega Patriots in the Fayette County Mega Patriots group. I think I'm gonna get right to it here today. We got so many things going on. I got Daryl Smith that came in with me, and he just stopped in because we had a bunch of stuff going on with. We're trying to get something thrown together here, but let's go to this. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness. That's Isaiah 5:20. Folks, before we begin today's broadcast, I want to do something we don't do nearly enough in this country anymore. Stop, reflect, and pray. I want to ask you, whether you're driving your truck down 119, working in the shop, or making dinner for the kids, just pause with me just pause with me. A moment of silence for a fallen patriot, Charlie Kirk, a man who gave everything, his time, his energy, and ultimately his life, trying to reach the next generation with truth, courage, and conviction. And a moment for the innocent Americans murdered on September 11th, whose names, stories, and sacrifices must never be forgotten. Thank you. Now let's get to the truth. Charlie Kirk was assassinated on American soil in broad daylight while speaking peacefully at a college event. Not because he committed a crime, not because he was violent, but because he stood for something. Because he stood for you. And what did we hear from the left? No sorrow, no condolences. We heard laughter. We saw karma posts. We read vile filth like rot in hell, and he got what he deserved. And the kicker, some of these people are elected officials, verified advocates, media personalities, people who have spent all year spewing hate, calling conservatives Nazis, racists, fascists, extremists, and then when one gets murdered, they cheer. It's demonic. But folks, it just doesn't stop there. And don't forget, these are part of the same Democrat Party of the people that was on just before me on WMBS a year ago, pushing their little campaigns, stating how bad I am, and other conservatives are mocking faith, mocking patriotism, mocking you week after week, and now silence because they don't condemn hate. They're trying to benefit from it. Let me say this loud and clear. If you don't have the courage to condemn political violence, you don't belong anywhere near elected office. Period. This is bigger than party politics. This is spiritual warfare, good versus evil. And if we don't wake up and speak out, if we let cowards and radicals run this country and this county, we're not going to recognize America in 10 years. Charlie Kirk's voice will not be silenced, and neither will mine. And if you're listening to this right now, neither will yours, because we are the backbone of this nation, the builders, the protectors, the ones who still believe in family, faith, and freedom. So sit with me today. We're going to break this down piece by piece. We're going to talk truth. We're going to call out the cowards and remember what this movement is really all about. Daryl is a good friend of mine, and it seems like me and him don't get together near enough, but it seems like when something goes wrong, he says, we got to do something about this. And where are we at, Daryl?
Well, that's the reason I'm here today. And again, I'm not a politician, so I'm just here to call to get help for an event to show respect for Charlie Kirk that was assassinated. There's no room in our country for that, and I don't care who you are. I don't care what party it is. The core of the term, can't we just all get along? And I'm sure people heard that. We've got to start being civil. and our country has to get together on this. I know being a veteran, I'm sure there's a lot of veterans out there, Iraqi, Afghanistan, Vietnam veterans, that gives them pause. And you wonder, we spent all this time fighting in World War I, II, Korean, standing up for all these other countries. We're supposed to be an example. And we're going to have 250 years turn around here, not too long, for our country. And people have to start being civil with each other, including here and any other programs you have. We got the greatest country in the world. A lot of people, a lot of soldiers, and were wounded and shot and killed, and for freedom to be able to talk, to debate, and we have to keep that up. Myself, I don't want to see anybody assassinated anymore in the United States. I didn't follow my orders to help other people to have a democracy and republic, to witness that. We have a lot of sad people over this, and I'm not getting into Democrats and Republicans and all that and parties, but they need to all get together and say enough's enough, and let's stop this.
So we're gonna try to have a candlelight service, visual, kind of like a remembrance for Charlie on 9/17. We're gonna start at about 5 o'clock.
Yeah, September the 17th, and 5 to 7 at Four Corners.
Well, it's Five Corners, I believe.
Five Corners.
I believe
I'm sorry.
They call it Five Corners. It's going to be down at the George C. Marshall. We're just going to gather up there. It's going to be a real peaceful thing. We're just going to try to. We're going to have a moment of prayer, probably a moment of silence. We might have, if things work out, we might have a couple people sing, and then we also. One of the things we're going to try to put together is and which we already been reached out to. We got several different college campuses within the surrounding area that there's people that knew Charlie and got to hear him speak, and they're going to come up and try to, I guess,
participate
or celebrate Charlie's life with what he was about.
Yeah, well, young, old, or in between. He's loved by a lot of people, and I gave flyers out to different people and older people, and there were a lot of tears in people. That's a very sad time. But we have a lot of young people. It seems that we got a little bit of a handle on it from some of the universities, and we think they'll be available. And we're going to have, as you said, a candlelight thing, candles hand out, and have a little tribute to him, and pray for not only him but for our country, and for all the young people and all the people who knew him and understood he was a Christian type person, and he preached God, country, and family, and we need that more than anything else that I can see in the United States.
And you're correct about that. I think that's where we're at. I don't want to. It's just unbelievable. I mean, it's just unbelievable what happened. The school shooting in Colorado, and all these different things that happened. It's just unbelievable. The girl down in Charlotte.
Yes.
And like it's the lady down in Charlotte, and all these things that happened, and. I think this is just it's the moral breakdown of the country. I mean, it's just it's unbelievable. I mean, I know things happen in real time now. Back when I was even a kid, you had to wait till Walter Cronkite or somebody came on the radio the TV to tell you what happened. But now things with cell phones and things, it happens right away. And I can't believe that there's no one that didn't know who Charlie Kirk was and or is. I mean, he was out there everywhere.
But sadly, that's not true. I mean, I've talked to people and some young people, and that he had a big following, all over the country, foreign countries and everything. But some people, and I'd approach them and talk to about them and said, and Christian people and different people on the street, and they were not aware of who he was until I brought it up. I said, he was assassinated. Oh, okay, So we're becoming numb. We're so programmed anymore. We see all this stuff, and it's like a triple, double whammy. All this. It's like a killing field. So I'm saying, my God, I feel sometimes like, I'm back over in Vietnam. I mean, street fighting, and then the same thing with Afghanistan, and some of the other. It draws me back to that, and I'm sure there are other persons too that have my experience.
Well, and I will tell you. I have a good friend of mine right now. I'm not sure where he's at. Okay, he's somewhere close to the Ukraine. He might even be in the Ukraine or in Poland, but he's definitely somewhere right in that area. And I say a prayer for him every night, and pray for his return back to the States. Yeah. So it's one of them things. But hey, I think I got Chris. I have you on the line.
Yes, you do.
And I didn't mean to put you off, but Daryl's a good friend of mine, and he wanted to come in, and we're going to try to promote this service that we're going to have here in Uniontown, and I think it's a good thing. It's going to be at 5 to 7 o'clock at the Five Corners down in Uniontown, and I've. For my whole life, I've called it 5 Points, but I guess a lot of people, it's actually Five Corners, and it's a George C. Marshall. And I think it's going to be a good thing. We'll get together and talk. I don't know if there'll be any speechifying there or not, but I think we just get together for a couple hours and reflect on this country and pray for the country.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. We could use prayer. Did you want me to get into what I was going to talk about, John?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, we now have who they believe is the shooter. I say who we believe because he has not had his day in court. He has not been found guilty in a day of court, so it would be wrong to say he absolutely is the shooter. But we probably can say with about 99% certainty that Tyler Robinson, this 22-year-old young man from Utah, is the shooter of Charlie Kirk because he apparently confessed to having shot Charlie Kirk to his father, and his father, who works for the sheriff department and is involved, of course, in law enforcement, is the one who turned him in. Now, what I did notice that I thought was interesting, some of the bullets that were found at the scene where he fired at Charlie Kirk had messages on them. One was called "Hey Fascist, Catch." So clearly he thought that this man was a fascist. He thought that Charlie Kirk was a fascist. He was not. And we'll get more into that as we talk some more. But, let's face it. How can I say this? The rhetoric that is coming from the left is so massively exaggerated, so hyperbolic. They paint all conservatives as, and I quote, this is what they're saying about conservatives, Nazis, fascists. That's why this young man who apparently shot Charlie Kirk had a message about being anti-fascist. So they're calling conservatives Nazis and fascists and bigots and dictators and so on. And the reason this is so ridiculous is that fascists and Nazis were socialists, and conservatives hate big government. They want less government in their life. So fascism and Nazism are just another brand of big brother government, collectivist kind of thinking, centralized power in the hands of a few people in government. So comparing a conservative to fascists and Nazis is so ridiculous. It's the complete opposite of what conservatives believe in.
You've been through this personally.
Oh, you mean?
I mean,
bigoted names and things like that.
Oh yeah, you've been through this just as I have been, and you know, I mean, my family's been attacked, and you know, actually, yesterday I did get a call from the FBI. They wanted to follow up with me about some things, but anyways, that's where we're at with all this. I mean, you've been through it. When you were in school, you were I mean, I don't know if we need to go into that now or not today, but what I'm thinking is we need to have there has to be a correction here, and if there isn't a correction, I think this is going to get to a point where we're not going to be able to do nothing about it. I don't know what's your feeling.
Yeah, it's getting to a critical point when many, not all, but many on the left have to shut down your voice, yell over you, and scream over you. When you see Charlie Kirk debating some of these young people, they're always yelling over him and trying to shut him out. See, there's a problem when you think that you have to shut someone's voice up, when you can't let them speak. And, you know, obviously I do blame the left since the 1960s for the last 60 years for creating so much hate and bigotry and vitriol and sending it toward conservatives. Now, are there people on the right who are extremist, hard right? Sure. And are they hateful? Yes. But here's the difference. The people on the left, they have control of the institutions in America, academia, the universities, the schools. They have control over the media. They have control over Hollywood. The right, no matter how extreme some people are on the hard right, they don't have control over the institutions. I don't know a single institution that the conservatives have a strong amount of control over. The left has absolutely taken over these institutions. So we could say there's extremists on the left and right, and that's a true statement. And we could say they're both hateful, and that's a true statement. But the left, John, has control over our institutions in America, the media, the colleges, the schools, and of course Hollywood. And so they paint a very slanted view of history, and they paint all conservatives as hypocrites and liars. They paint all Christians as bigots, you know, going back to the Shawshank Redemption, which is about 30 years ago. The warden was a legalistic, judgmental man. There are people in the church like that are very Pharisee-oriented, sure, but not everyone. And what the left has done, in my opinion, is they've taken what is extreme in the conservative movement and made it look mainstream. And they've taken what is extreme on the left and made it look palatable, while taking what is extreme on the right and making it look not palatable. So they've twisted it around. They've made the extremism on the right look mainstream, and it's not. And they've made their extremes look, oh, it's not that bad, it's okay. So they've done a masterful job of kind of reworking and rephrasing and reframing.
And they've been very patient about how they've done it. I mean, it's like the old adage. I mean, you can't eat an elephant at one time, but if you take enough bites out of it, you can. And that's how they do it. So I mean, slowly moving, and we have let this happen in this country. We haven't stood up. I mean, and we haven't said, you know, we should have stood up and said, enough's enough. I mean, it goes clear back to Chris with I mean, with all kinds of things. But I mean, we've got ourselves in wars we shouldn't have been in because we tolerated it instead of just we tolerated things. And when you tolerate things, then it's your fault. So now we're at a point where we need to start changing things that we can change, and that's what we have to do. You look at Charlie Kirk. It's a twofold situation. He was definitely demonized because he was a conservative, but I really believe it was more about being a Christian than anything. That's my thinking on this. I
think it's a little bit of both. I think it's probably 50-50 split.
But I mean, that's what it was about, because he was willing to stand up and say, you know what, this is wrong. This isn't the way we should be doing things. And when you do them things, when you say, when you tell the truth over and over, and no matter, like a lot of times people will ask you a question, and we're all guilty of this. But I mean, we ask the doctor, how am I doing? And then the doctor tells you, and then you try to reiterate it to make it fit in your form of way, what you want it to be. And I think that we need to. The truth's the truth. And that's the way it is. We're in a country that's $34 trillion in debt. We're being led. We've been led so long by the wrong people, and now when you have somebody stand up like Charlie and say, enough's enough, they demonize. They make a demon out of you, and that's what they did with. Yeah. That's what they did with our president, Donald Trump. He said enough's enough. Let's stop. And they did everything they could to him. They slandered him. They did all the things that they could to him. And finally they took a shot at him, thinking that was going to stop him. And all that did was solidify his base. Even more. And I think this is where we're at right now. I think that people. I don't think we need to come together unless we're going to do the right things. That's my opinion.
Well, yeah, there's something to be said for that unity in the right way. I do think it is important to mention the influence of the left and how far they've taken things. Because look what's happening, John. People are being fired from their jobs as teachers and other positions because they're going on social media and saying horrible things about Charlie Kirk and saying he deserved it and so on. It's unbelievable. I found this online. This is from the New York Post. It was posted yesterday. It says, gleeful school teachers celebrate assassination of Charlie Kirk in horrific posts. Now, these are people teaching our children in public schools, and this is what they're saying. From King Elementary School in Framingham, Massachusetts, someone by the name of Samantha Marengo posted a video online singing God Bless America because Kirk was assassinated. That's just appalling. You have to have no conscience to do something like this. In Naples, New York, another public school teacher apparently called Kirk an aspiring Goebbels. Joseph Goebbels was Hitler's second or third in command, and so he's referring to the Nazis by saying this. There's others. Let me see. This one, I don't think this woman's going to last. She works at Fort Bragg, North Carolina. This is a U.S. Army base, and she teaches at the Army base there. So she's under Department of Defense, which means Trump is her commander-in-chief of the military, so he can fire her immediately. She said she thought that she couldn't share, she couldn't help but to share her comments, and they were pretty nasty about Kirk. Let me see if I can find them. She said about Kirk, this is this woman by the name of Kristen Eve, this is her post. She said about Kirk, he was a garbage man. I won't mourn him for 1 second. Let's see, I'm going to keep going on. She said something to the effect, she doesn't want to take the high road anymore. She's tired of being the bigger person. She said she thought that the gun violence and the mass shootings are a reasonable price. That's it. She said gun violence and this mass shooter who killed Kirk is a reasonable price to pay for the Second Amendment. So she blames the Second Amendment for the shooting, not the man who clearly had some mental problems. So this is what we're up against. People who have been so brutally indoctrinated, John, they actually believe it's good to kill a man who committed no crime. In fact, there's a page on Facebook, and I think it's also on Instagram as well, called Occupy Democrats, okay? And the day that Charlie Kirk was shot, but not yet pronounced dead, the Occupy Democrats page on Facebook, I'm sure on Instagram as well, posted that he had been shot, that Charlie Kirk had been shot. And this is what I see. 15.6 thousand likes. Happy that Charlie Kirk was shot on the Occupy Democrats page. 15.6 thousand. There also were 5.9 thousand laughing emojis and 1.9 thousand hearts, meaning they love that he was shot. This is brutal. I mean, this is insanity. Now, where did all of this start, John? Do you have any idea where all this crazy, violent, radical left wing activism came from?
I'm gonna go ahead. I'll give you reign. You got a minute.
Oh, okay. It goes back to there's two revolutions: the American Revolution in the 1770s, French Revolution in the 1790s. In the 1770s, our founding fathers got rid of the king, got rid of the monarchy, but kept their Judeo-Christian heritage. Whereas the French Revolution, they also got rid of their monarchy, so far so good, but they got rid of their Judeo-Christian heritage, and in its place rose up these radicals, humanism and socialism and Marxism and communism and all these isms, fascism, Nazism. They all came out of the influence of the theorists and the philosophers from the French Revolution. In fact, Nietzsche was the father of Nazism. He created National Socialism, at least in theory, and Hitler just built on his thoughts. And so these people pretty much influenced all of Europe, and they took over the thinking of Europe, and that's why Europe is very, very non-Christian today. And then they eventually made their way to the Americas, Canada, the U.S., along with Australia, New Zealand. That's Western civilization. And eventually they became professors at college, they became journalists, they became lawyers, and so on. And in the 60s, Marxist professors used the Vietnam War to turn the young people against the United States of America, and those people raised under that Marxist influence then became our leaders and became our government officials, professors, and so on, and they have indoctrinated our young people.
Well, Chris, I got to cut you off right there. We gotta move along here, and but I appreciate you calling in, and I always appreciate your insight on these things. We're just gonna keep moving forward with what we can, and thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Okay, hey, I got one thing I got to mention before we close up the show. There's also going to be down in at WVU, will host a candlelight vigil for Charlie Kirk. It's going to be at the Life Science Quad, and it's going to be September 15th. That's Monday night at 7:30 p.m., and all are welcome to come. They're not going to turn anybody away. I just want to make sure everybody knows that if they got time, probably try to get down there. Me and Daryl, I think we're going to travel down there on Monday night. Okay. I want to thank you all for listening. I want to thank you all for giving me the privilege of doing what I do. So, on this road called life, you have to take the good with the bad. Smile when you're sad, love what you got, and remember what you had. Always forgive and try to forget. People change. Things go wrong. But just remember, the ride goes on. God bless each and every one of you, and God bless the United States of America. I am John Marietta, and I am the Hillbilly.